Boy, oh boy, we got a big political analyst Farokh joining us today for Rekt Radio episode 75. That can't be right because last week was 84, but the post does say 75. I feel like we've done more than that. It's got to be 85, right? I mean, Mando's muted. So I think Mando's muted.
No, I just muted myself. Yeah, it's definitely 85. Definitely 85.
Okay, yeah, trying to not give us enough credit out here. So yeah, I don't know. Let me get into who the show's sponsored by real quick before we do anything else. We're Rekt Radio. We're sponsored by dydx now, which is DeFi's pro trading platform, fully decentralized, community governed on-chain exchange with 100% of the protocol fees distributed to the dydx token. Stakers. Missed that part on that sentence. It's soon to be launched as the dydx Unlimited, featuring permissionless markets, a new affiliate program, the Mega Vault, a master liquidity pool, which acts as a market maker for all your dydx exchange markets, and you can trade it on dydx.exchange. Obviously, some restrictions apply in the availability. But yeah, check it out. dydx is a great place to trade for decentralized trading.
I think we're going to be doing some DGen bets from next week. We'll just kind of sort that out in the back end. But we'll do just like we did with Robert. We'll have levered trades and people can win each week. I was actually looking just now. I think we're close to 2 years. Looks like our first episode was November 2022. November 2022 with Seed Phrase was number 1.
No way.
Wow. Man. Yeah. I mean, looking at, we almost have as many viewers as Farokh had the other day on his interview with Trump. So we're on the come up. We got a drink code? Wait, no, we don't.
No, I don't think so today.
Okay.
OSF is in Singapore right now doing some market research. It seems like seems to be having a good time. But no, there's no. I don't think there's a drink code today, unfortunately, guys.
I think she's at marquee right now.
At least we got the leverage trades next week. Those have always been profitable for viewers. So I mean, I expect big things on that front. So what's up, Farokh? How are you?
I'm good. I mean, mama, I made it. I'm on Rekt Radio. That's crazy to me. That's my biggest honor.
I really thought we had you on previously, but then when we were talking,
bro, you had like the Blast homies before you had me on the show, bro.
Jesus, wow. Down
bad. To be clear, I've invited you on before, and both times, once was the original cycle, right, 2022, and you were like, no, I need to make money before I can come on Rekt Radio. And then we came to this cycle, and you were crushing it, and I was like, you should come on. You're like, no, I need to make $10 million this cycle. And then it just kind of drifted away, that dream. And
I'm just broken on Rekt Radio.
And then,
so you were on the Rekt side of the Rekt Radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we're having you on a little bit early before that was before that goal was hit this cycle. There was a toss up between you and the Threador himself, Adam Cochran, actually, for this week.
Wow.
Because we were meant to have you on in a couple of weeks, but we might have to have Cochran on slightly later. But it felt perfect to have you on. Obviously, you've gone completely viral over the last 48 hours. You are X's main character again, CT's main character. Number 1 on Fantasy Top. South and KBM can't even make the top 100.
Not even close anymore.
Well, I think I've had one post which has helped me at the moment, but yeah, KBM OSF they're really not helping us. We are definitely last cycle's influencers. OSF at 109. KBM's actually at the bottom.
I'm not even on the list. Yeah, I don't think I've had.
I'm trying to look right now.
I don't think I've had a real.
KBM has posted in about 2 weeks.
I just retweet. I mean, like the range is the range. There's no point in trading it, and then like I'm just bored of it. I don't know.
It does feel as though this cycle, because no one's like all the altcoins have gone to zero, and basically the only thing higher is Solana and Bitcoin. The top accounts this cycle are more content creators than they are like traders. You know, like previous cycles, it was like mainly like, oh, chartists and all that sort of stuff, like buy this altcoin. Like people haven't even attempted to buy altcoins this cycle. So it's more just been like, which KOL caller is going to call this shitcoin? And then they immediately go to the top 10. Am I wrong in saying that? It feels like, I remember last cycle it'd be like Trader SC, like all those sort of like chartist sort of guys would always be the top guys for a while, right?
Who else is on the top there? I don't know.
Woz just calls out everyone in crypto, right? And Mitch is that sort of KOL
Mitch,
group, I would say, yeah.
Wow, look at that fan score. 1,000 the max.
You don't even know who Mitch is. Mitch is.
I mean, I've seen the
He's one of the
account,
Trench Warrior guys. That's Trench Warrior CT. You left that a long time ago.
I can tell by the profile picture that he probably just doesn't like me off the bat.
I can tell when PFP doesn't like me so weird.
That's a retardio right there.
It's so true though. You see a PFP, you know they don't like you. Like I have some people.
I mean that profile picture of the crew. I don't know. They don't. Yeah, we don't really get along.
I do.
I don't think they like shorting. I don't think they like trading in general. Besides like trading vaporware.
I mean, I wouldn't like you either if you weren't my homie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, very polarizing, I guess. Having real thoughts. Yeah. Anyway.
Big Dick Bear, as we like to call him on the show.
Big Dick Bear. I'm not even bearish. Anyway, back to the
tried to get Big Dick Bull on, actually. I messaged him.
Yo, that'd be dope.
He's full and on. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, we can't have that dream pairing coming on. Anyway, I thought this would be because we spoke a little bit already about what happened on the Trump interview. Maybe we should go back a bit. Like, how did you get into crypto, Farokh? How did your Rekt Radio journey start in crypto?
In 2021, actually. So some would say I'm not so new to it. I felt late, but it turns out it was quite early, actually. I was always curious about it. Like in 2016, like Telegram trenches, growing Instagram pages. It was like all in Telegrams. Like these kids, like were all early to like Ethereum, right? And they were all like trading, buying Ethereum, like early, like the earliest $10. So I knew about it. 2017, I was like kind of half obsessed with it, like Bitcoin and stuff. And I kept telling my mom, like, yo, we got to buy this Bitcoin thing. But I didn't have any money to buy it. Like I couldn't really buy Bitcoin. It's not like I got savings or like a lot of them. And then 2020 Clubhouse, curfew, Montreal, 8 p.m. Can't do shit. I'm stuck at home listening to people talk about Bitcoin and crypto. And I was obsessed with it in Q4 20. Like it was obsessive. Like, you know how I get, man. Like, I just talk about something all the time when I'm obsessed with it. And then Christmas 2020, it's actually a nice story. Christmas 2020, my mom had sold finally her apartment in Montreal, in France, that she's had since like the 79 after revolution, to be able to like pay for some stuff here and then like, you know, renovations and stuff. And she gave my brother and I each like a check for 5,000 Canadian. And she never gave us any, like, I don't take money from my own. I'm a kid. I always made my own because I didn't want her to give me money. And I gave it back the check. She's like, no, don't give me this check back. She's like, put in this crypto thing you keep like busting my balls about. She didn't say it like that, right? 'Cause obviously she doesn't have balls. Anyways, I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I'll do that. So since you said that, I'll do that for you. So to convert it to 3,800 US because the Canadian dollar is a shit coin. And then I put half in Bitcoin, half in ETH. And then I put it all in Doge after GMEMC. I think it 10x overnight because Elon tweeted it. And then I bought my first NFTs and I got into the whole thing February 19th, 2021 on Clubhouse in an NFT room that I ended up in with Logan Paul. And I was like, what's this NFT thing? What's this thing? Like, I love the crypto thing, but what is that? But NFTs made sense for me as like a social media kid. So it's like, whoa, I went all in. And that was my crypto start.
You never put in any more money than that. That's it.
Never.
So
I actually never.
$5,000 Canadian. Yeah.
And then from there, I actually didn't even take a single dollar out in 3 years, I think, to my bank. The first 2 years at least.
The vouchers, baby.
Oh God, you know.
Nobody's listening. Okay. So started with $5,000, and back then, I remember when I first met you. You said you were like more into you were trading shit coins at the start, right? Yeah.
So I was I got wrecked on GME and AMC, and then that's when I got into Doge, and then I started. It was NFTs right off the bat, actually. Like it was because we were early NFTs, right? Like I was lucky. Like for me, like I got right into the thing. Like it was actually Bored Apes were now, so it wasn't an NFT like boom yet, but it was like pre Bored Apes, right? That's when everything went haywire. Similar to you guys, right? And then that summer was like shitcoins, right? Like 2021 summer was like, you know, there was a ton of shitters coming out all the time, and I was trying to be that kid that turns like, you know, whatever money to that. So it was that, yeah, heavily. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think there was a time when you poured some milk on your head at the cool cat.
That too. Yeah.
The NFT boom had some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, NFT boom was crazy. I mean, writing like cool cats from like 0.1 ETH to like 50.
I still like the cool cats art, but
same.
I don't think art's gonna get to make people, you know, money, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Can I say how much more fun it was to try and make money back then? Like I was trying to think, like $5,000 to buy to like you said. Like, that's a great story in crypto, right? You started with $5,000. I don't know. You've probably at least done a 100x on that, right? Maybe even more.
More.
So how would you even? If I was to think about if I came in with $5,000 now, like,
Can
what would
you?
you
If you came in with $5,000 now, I think you'd lose it in about a day.
If you come with $5,000 now, you lose it in half, maybe intraday, right? Because what do? You either put it on your Rollbit account and try to like max long or short or whatever, and then what do you do besides that? You try to put it on like Pump Fun or like a shitcoin, right? I'm assuming that's what people do first because
Yeah,
they
I think
don't
you
want.
just gotta yeet it right into the gambling abyss. Is
No.
the way. But
I don't even know. I don't even know how I'd. But that's what people. If I'm honest, that's why people are getting into crypto, right? Like, if this is boomer tech, like, how are you telling some Zoomer to come into crypto? It's like, hey, you can do 100x. Otherwise, like, what's the point? But it does feel as though it's so much more difficult now. Like, the meme coin streets are unbelievably competitive. It's all bots. After like something will pump for a day and then it's gone. You know, like it's just completely dead. So I just don't even know.
Is it over? Is like the dream over?
Come on, KBN.
The
Come on,
American
dude.
crypto dream.
Yeah.
I don't mean like crypto is it over. I mean like, making those massive multiples. It seems like it's a bit hard now. And the era of free money may be over. You
It's coming back, man.
Learn shit.
Rates are going to zero. I do just think
50 bips in full send. It's never over.
No, I'm not. I don't mean over. Just like, taking
Easy
5K
money.
and spinning up to millions of dollars might be over for the
Yeah.
time being.
Oh my God.
I mean, we did have some of those stories this cycle, right? Like, and you can still get these sort of stories, like that Nero coin this week. That's done a 20x, right?
20x this week?
20x in 2 days, dude. But that's full on cabal. Like, only some people like it was the CTO Nero coin on ETH. Like, people had heard of the CTO Nero coin on Solana, but then there was one on ETH, which I don't think anyone was really following, apart from the Binance execs, and that's done like a 20x. But it feels as though stuff just isn't. Yeah, like meme coins, you don't hear about those stories too many times. Do you hear about what happened with smoking chicken fish this week?
Yeah, I saw that.
What happened?
So you know that was that meme that was like, it was like an Ansem shill, which then went a bit more viral. Raoul Paul bought some. Ovi bought like a disturbing amount. And then I think the actual founder / pastor decided to like, he didn't get paid enough, made another coin this week, and then like got arrested or something, like, or was like being charged by someone. Like, definitely, it just feels as though these stories just don't last in the same way that they did. Even that one had like something a bit different to it, I felt like this week, over the last few months. Let me have a look. Surely there's a story around that. Yeah. And
then they're CTOing it.
Yeah, Decrypt wrote about it. Solana meme coin church turns on pastor after scam allegations surface. I don't know. Like, if someone came into me and said, "Hey, I need to do 100x," you probably, like, honestly, I'd probably say you should be a content creator. Like, honestly, that's what I'd say. I'd say you should become like a KOL / content creator. That's the easiest way to make it this cycle. Those are the people that have made it this cycle, right? Like, KOLs seemingly, at least KOLs who are more like callers rather than just like content creators.
Yeah, I mean, they just take the money and then dump the money and then.
Yeah.
Is that sustainable too, though? That's probably near.
I mean, even that, like the making money, like people think these creators make money, bro. Like, a lot of creators don't make a lot of money, and like in the bear market, they make no money. I mean, we would know, right? Like, Mando, you run the show with me in the morning. You saw how much money we're making in 2021, like on the show front. Even you guys with your sponsors, so you guys know more than anybody else. And then you can see how it dries up in the bear market. Like, revenue dries. We've done very well for our creators, but it's just like you see even for the company dries up. Like, revenue on the Rugredo level in the bear versus the bull. So it's like, it's not easy. And now it's the era of the creator. This is the decade of the creator, right? 2020. I've been saying this for 4 years now. It's like the day that you're going to see the first creator billionaires, which you probably have, right? Aren't Mr. Beast, Logan, and all, like, in the Nelk Boys are all going to be billionaires, or they are already with their companies. If you factor that in. Sure, if you factor, but the Nelk Boys, like, happy that it's $1 billion company. That doesn't mean each one of them are billionaires, but like, that's $1 billion company, right? But like, it's dilute. So it's just like meme coins, all right? Like creators is like it becomes the coolest thing. It's the hottest thing. And there's a dime a dozen, right? Like you started your minutes, you were getting the most views out of everyone, and all of a sudden everybody sees that and is making minutes. So all of a sudden that dilutes the minutes business, right? And it's how many minutes you can read in the morning, right? So it's like you see it happen, but the strongest brands at the top will always have it. So Mando will always sell. Bull Bear, Mando will make money as a creator, but like at the the bottom it's like a pyramid, right? It just doesn't it dries up pretty fast. So even that's tough.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a shame. I guess I'm kind of half agreeing with KBM in that, like, I don't see that meme coins were it this cycle, and for sure, like back in, let's say, February to maybe even before that, maybe January all the way to like June, every single day you'd see a screenshot of somebody who just like, look, I made like 6 figures, sometimes 7 figures on like one trade. It feels as though that isn't happening. It hasn't been happening for like the last 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or only happening like super occasionally. And I think that is an issue. You do need those stories. You need those lottery ticket style things for people to get involved. And like I said, like the popular accounts this cycle are not the altcoin accounts. It's not like people who trade that stuff. It's the people that are just calling Ponzi's. Let's be honest here. Like, which isn't, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like that's what we're all drawn to clearly this cycle, and that's what people are interested in making money in. I don't know. I kind of agree with you there, KB, and I don't see that. Like, even the prediction markets, which have been like the number one thing, and we'll go into what you're building with Myriad, like it doesn't feel as though you're going to make generational wealth on like that. Like it's more like, oh, I did like a 10x. You know, it was a 10% odds of Trump saying tampon, and that hit. You know,
on low liquidity too. So
yeah,
you can make
but you know, that maybe that's just the fact we're in like the final cycle for those sort of like crazy outsized gains.
Yeah, it just needs a reset. I mean, in the future there'll be something else where you can make massive outside gains and generational wealth. I'm sure. Again, it always happens cyclical, but right now it feels like that time has passed for the time being. It's more of a, if you made it, sit on your hands, don't give it all back in the chop, and if you didn't make it, always next time. You
want to talk about this cycle, Farokh? Like, you want to talk about your trades?
Yeah, let's do it.
How did it go? Let's have some Rekt Radio stories. Like, what have you learned over the last 2-3 years? Because I'm in a group chat with you, and I think you've pretty much gone through you've done a blitz of trading training, I would say.
I have different.
Where do you think you have an edge?
I don't think I have an edge. Maybe on the culture side, because I really get like virality more than like most people. So that would be my edge. But even then, like I'm too busy to be able to use that edge now, right? Because like we're always working. You said Myriad and the Rekt Radio, and next thing you know, I'm interviewing Donald Trump. So I don't have the edge anymore because I don't have the time. I think I have a really good hunch for like when I think the market's going to do well. Like you guys have both seen, I've had some crazy P&L trades, but my biggest, and this sounds a mistake everyone makes in listeners when it's called Rekt Radio, is that I'm so good at giving it back. I'm so good at like getting to that point where, like, remember that Solana trade from like 90 to 120 last quarter? I went max long or something. I made 250K in like 24 hours. And then the next day I gave $100,000 back. Cashed out 150K out, but like I still made that mistake within 2 hours. Like I sold the top and I long the top. You know what I mean? It's like, but see, I do that all the time. Like it happened to me 2 weeks ago, right? Like when I was going to Asia, I made some cash like in like an hour. Like I mean, like what, like 10, 20, 30K. I forgot. Like it was quite a bit of money in like an hour because I longed at the right time because it just was like, wow, it's going to pop. And then what I do before I go to Japan, I long ETH at range high at 2800. And then next thing you know, like you have the whole thing that crashes. Thankfully, I got to Japan. I was already down like 50% of my money. So I cut it, and I lost like what, 20, 30K instead of losing 60K, right? So it's like, but I still lost it. So like, that's always my mistake. But my best trade was MOG, bro. So I was in MOG. Remember, I sent it to you in Ovi at first. And he was like, oh, like, what's this thing? As one of my wallets, like I turned half an ETH to like $500,000. That was one as soon as I bought, because I bought it 1 million. So like, as soon as I did 500X, I was like, damn. So that was my best trade this cycle. But I was early to all of it. With Ovi and I talk about it, like woulda, coulda, shoulda, but like technically speaking,
you're early to every trade. Everything. Like I've never seen someone, honestly, like if you look back over your trading blotter, you would have been in every single coin that was like 100x this cycle.
Yeah.
You're in every single one. Like even the recent ones, like Fog. You were talking to me about Fog when it was like first fucking launched. You're always in these coins, and I just I haven't been paying attention either because of what's been just doing stuff mainly around Epic 2. Like I don't really trade that much, but you're just always there. And then you either sell just at completely the wrong time, or you'll give it back. Like your FOMO after you have sold is so incredible that you always like buy back in. And like if you buy back in, you'll be like, if you've made 1%, like let's say it goes to like 50 million and it goes back down to 46, you're like, I need to get back in right at this exact moment. And then it will go down to like 30, and then you'll be like, oh, like it was the perfect.
I was ready to whiff. Remember, so the night I long sold, right, and I made like 250 grand on that. I also bought 250K worth of like whiff, so I had like 250,000 tokens because it was like super cheap. And then I made whatever. No, whiff was with you, Mando, when you and OVD aped in and he sold his fidences. I tailed him, and I made that 200-300K in like a week or so because then it popped and I sold it. But that today would have been like $4 million or something like that. Well, not today, but like at top it was 4 mil. Mog, when I sold some of it, I had 1.8 trillion tokens that I paid like 10 ETH for total, which is like $2 million right now, $3 million. At top of like 3-4 mil, I sold it for much less. I still have a ton of Mog, by the way, like full disclosure. I love it. It's my favorite coin. But like Pepe, right? You and I, like I had like what, 250 billion Pepe, 1.3 trillion. At some point I had 250 billion Pepe, 1.8 trillion Mog and 1 million whiff at the same time in the same wallet. And I didn't get greedy. I just sold because I was like, fuck, this is crazy. PTSD from last cycle, right? Surely this isn't in yet. I'm reading KBM's tweet saying we're going to zero. I sell my shit. And then it goes, and then OV makes fucking 20 mil or 10 or whatever. And then my ass makes 1 or 2. Now that is, I don't want to put out the wrong message. Like that is insane money, especially IRL. Like you'll realize, don't listen, like $1 million in real life is a fuck ton of money, right? But like, should have been 10 right now. It should have been 10 right now. And for not doing anything, I had to do nothing. Nothing.
And that was kind of the same in NFTs as too, man.
Yeah.
Like people forget about this. Like you obviously got all the shit for selling your NFTs too, but like you also were early to literally every single one of the NFTs last cycle too. And you held them 100x. Like if the 100x of this cycle were Pepe, you were in, Mog, you were in, Whiff, you were in early. This is what I'm talking about here.
Early.
What are 100x's were there really this cycle?
Boom, I was in. I cooked Boom though. That was a 200K weekend. That was fire. But then I gave it back to MFer. Like, see, like dude, why am I on this show right now? It's gonna make me sick. I hate it.
This is the thing. You're always in, and then you always roll it into the next.
Remember when I paid $142,000 for the 9th rarest World of Women? Or like I bought a drift piece for 130K, or like I rode my cats a $500,000 back. My Zukis was $1 million plus. My ape. Thankfully, I sold an ape for 550 that I paid like nothing for. So I was in the apes like at 1 ETH. And remember when I lost my wallet with like $2 million worth of apes at some point? But like, it's like, I'm that guy. Like, I'll run it up. Like, I'm very good at running it up. I'm just very good at like I'm maximizing the profits I take. But I think this comes from the background that I also like, I'm so focused on building that I know for a fact that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm sure we'll get to that, we're going to make a lot of money and we're going to be successful. So I don't care about the trading money as much as like a trader does, because it's not what puts food on my table. Like I actually have a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so it's like, maybe it's that, and I shouldn't treat it like that, but that's it. Yeah,
I think we said it to you, like every single time you have a big win, you should just put at least 50% into Bitcoin and then just not touch it.
Yeah.
That's what your rule is from now on. It's like, because you have had so many massive wins and you get so euphoric about it, and then you roll it, or you feel as though even Bohm, right? How much at one stage you were up like even more crazy amounts of money, right?
Yeah. I remember when we hit like 600 mil and you guys were like, I think it was you and KBM were talking in the voice chat. You guys like, yo,
sell it.
And then what do? I just buy 1,000 Sol.
Yeah, you bought 1,000 Sol more. That's so classically you.
And then it went up, and then it cooked. It went to fucking
It did go up.
You didn't sell it.
I didn't sell it, and I round tripped it, and then I probably bought MFer, and you know what cooked me? Degen and MF, the base fucking thing, bro. Like I lost almost all like hundreds of thousands of dollars right after, like same week almost.
Yeah,
fuck,
that was a crazy time. I think that's something that I learned this cycle, right? Like NFTs, the way that they went up and down, yeah, it was aggressive, but it was also slower. Like the
It
way
was
the
slower.
meme coins just rug like that, and
The
it's
cool
just
cat cycle lasted like 6 months, 8 months. It wasn't like 6 days. It was like, and it was more fun too, dude. Like you got to really feel like you're part of something. You know, the only one doing that right now is like Frank, right? Like dygauss, like feels like you're still part of something. Bored Ape, sorry, and Azuki, Doodles.
Isn't it just a coin now, or
It's
what
just a
happened
coin,
there? He
yes.
just pivoted again to.
He did.
Went to something new.
he did gay recently, and he's moved on to dgods.
I like his.
You remember that he was a CTO. He CTO'd some random coin.
I mean, I know that, but I thought he moved
I know
to
about that
gods,
too.
and like thought the gods were moving to a coin now. Like he's gonna let you burn like Utes.
I liked
Make
it.
it a
I thought he
coin.
was doing at least something a bit different with it. I think it will.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that the NFTs are worthless. So
At least he's trying something, you know. Like most
Yeah,
motherfuckers try nothing in this space.
Big Dick Bear. Here he is.
I mean, I'm just being realistic. I don't know.
Big Dick Bear.
But what do I know?
Should we go into what are you up to then, Farokh? Like last cycle, you were Rekt Radio, which was kind of a DAO. It was a show. It was a bunch of different shows, and obviously went through the whole of creating content throughout the whole of like the bear market. Came out. We've obviously been doing this show, our daily show, for 2.5 years, basically, or 2 years. Yeah, definitely 2.5 years. And then now during the bear, you managed to engineer a merger with Decrypt, which was
Big move.
a cook. And then you've now moved on to prediction markets. So yeah, how have you managed to do all this?
Dude, we're playing 4D chess out there, you know, like people took a break or didn't trade in the bear market. We kept building. I mean, it was the only thing I figured after round tripping everything. So by the way, that 5K ended up writing to like a $5 to $7 million unrealized NFT bag. At peak it was like 7 or something. That doesn't count. I know how that works. And then wrote it back down to like 800K. So it was great. And so I was like, well, fuck.
I had 50 million of Bored Ape.
Yeah, but at least you MFers ended up cooking those A's. You know what I mean? So like but anyways, like point being, and you're right. Like, see, that doesn't count. Like to your point, it doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
What counts is what you actually got in your bank account. And so anyways, like I was like, fuck it, I'll double down on building because one, I'll prove people that I'm not a one cycle like hero, like, you know, whatever you call it, like a creator that comes in and out. So I'm going to prove people like this is a good time to like turn some of the haters, the skeptics. I won't say haters, like skeptics. Like skeptics, like, yo, this guy is actually here to stay and cares about our industry. So I was like, this is your time to shine, like show people you care. And then also I saw an opportunity because I think my edge on people, not in trading, but in life is like, I'm like much more relentless than most people. Like, I don't really care. Like I just keep doing it. Like, I don't care if shit doesn't work. Like, I'll just keep going every day. Like, our show is episode 200 FOMO hour today, Mando, but you and I have hosted like 800 episodes together. I've done about 2,000-3,000 shows since Clubhouse. And so I just build, and then we worked. And then, you know, got the Decrypt opportunity to merge, which was on the table, then off the table, then on the table. You know how negotiations go. And so we made that happen. And I was like, I called Locks one night. I was like, our CEO was like, should we really do this? Like, we're going to cook with Rekt Radio and Locks. Like, listen, like this buys us like 7 years because they built for 7 years. And it costs like at least $10-15 million to build a brand like Decrypt, just so people know it's not overnight. And so we did that. And then in our early conversations, when they came to Montreal to talk about, we called the Treaty of Montreal, you know, when they came, Mando, to Montreal to see if we could make this merger happen for 48 hours after I was in London. That was sick as fuck. I couldn't even go down the stairs. I used to sit down after each stair because I was so sick. But we still did it. But anyways, like they were like, oh, we've been trying to see if we should do prediction markets. And actually last week, we found documents from Decrypt in 2019 talking about building a prediction market on Decrypt, right? Because Joe Lubin's involved, right? And Joe Lubin's like on the cap table. And it was a consensus mesh company originally, then it spun out. So they were into that. And then in March in Hong Kong, like I was talking to Ray Chan, Nangak CEO, and a bunch of other like Asian Chads in the room, at Kowloon K11, you know, like Adrian Chang's like private members club at the rooftop. It was say penthouse, the most luxurious place I've ever been in, like, cause Hong Kong money is real money, right? And they're like, yeah, you should do prediction markets. I'm like, fuck it. I go outside with Locks. I'm like, Locks, just so you know, like, we need to pivot 100%. Like, Content Plus is cool. Rewarding consumption of content is great, but like, nobody wants another fucking hoodie. I'm tired of rewards for consuming content. Aeroplan and Amex already have points programs. Are we really just going to launch another point program? Like every single company on earth, like crypto didn't fix this. Crypto didn't invent points and rewards. Like Amex has the best reward program, right? When you want to fly and shit. And I don't need another hoodie. So anyways, like, yeah, let's go, let's pivot. We called Elan, our CPO, and like, yo, we're completely pivoting. And then we started building prediction market. But, so we didn't ride like the poly market wave after the fact. We actually been building a good product forever. That's why our product in UI and UX of Myriad Markets is really good. Now, prediction markets are a dime a dozen. We are rated for that. And actually, my thesis is that prediction markets is just going to be the NFT marketplace of last cycle. And I shouldn't say this as someone who launched one, right? But I am telling you, it's going to be that, because every single media on earth is going to have prediction market, just like the quiz business. Remember, the quiz business was $1 trillion industry. Like the take this quiz, get $10 rewards or whatever. Like, nothing's new. Again, like, we are not reinventing anything, right? It's just more transparent. It's on chain. Yeah. But I think that prediction markets native to a media brand that owns distribution is what's hot. I do 50 million visits a year on Decrypt, 300,000 engaged minutes spent on Decrypt.co a year. This year, we're like exploding right now, even more. So, and that was in the bear market. We do 20 million unique visitors. So that's what I see, right? That's what I think is special about it. Plus the Rekt Radio creators, like with Rekt Radio, for example, right now, if you have the Myriad Google, Chrome extension, you could, if you're on YouTube, down there, like there's a bar right now and people can put a prediction while listening to us. I think that's what we bring that's different.
And just to go back just a little bit to like the actual media brand side of stuff, because obviously you started with Rekt Radio, and Rekt Radio was like a mixture between like an NFT company, a DAO, a content house, and I would say like an influencer, like almost like an agency, like an influencer style agency, right? You have tons of different people who are like attached. Obviously, we're still, our brand was as well. Media, like Decrypt is quite a different sort of business, but like they're selling for like 120 million. Like what are the recent sales? Like CoinDesk sold for.
CoinDesk is like it's undisclosed, but it's like 80 to 100.
Right.
BitGet bought the block for 70 mil. And then Blockworks raised raised 13 mil, I think, at 135 in the depth of the bear with 10T leading. So there's big money in media, yeah.
Yeah. And how do you think you run a successful media business? Like, I thought that was like the trade of the bear market, actually, to manage to merge Decrypt. But like, I know there's a lot of like flack, I think, in this space for, I don't know, like, I feel as though you kind of mixed it with doing events, doing brand stuff. Like, it's a bit more like you mentioned the Happy Dads guys, those guys. Like, it's kind of a bit more influencer-y, I would say, Decrypt now, right? So
not Decrypt. So what we did is that we kept it separate, right? So like Rekt Radio is Rekt Radio. So Rekt Radio is a lifestyle media brand. That's what I'm turning into more. You'll see as time goes, because now I have to work on Rekt Radio V2, right? Getting away from the whole agency model, blah, 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 the NFTs and stuff like that. It's still a tokenized ecosystem, right? Because, Q4 with Myriad and everything is going to be really fun. But like, you have Rekt Radio that's like lifestyle, content creators, memes, and culture. And Decrypt is Decrypt. Decrypt is like, there's a thick Chinese wall internally between our writers and our creators. I don't tell our writers what to write. I don't suggest anything. I don't, like, if I see a news, or if a writer comes and like, yo, can you connect me to the founder of this? Because I know most of the people, I connect, but I never get involved in the editorial stuff. So Decrypt stayed true to that. And the way I think you build a successful media company in the space is by, just putting high quality media out there. The beautiful thing about Decrypt is like, it's kind of like the baby of the space. Like, it was like the one pure media company that hasn't been sold, nothing, still ran by Josh Quittner, who founded it, Elon and Ryan Babinski, who founded Code Academy, who co-founded Decrypt. And it's like that pure, like really ethical high journalistic integrity media and news station. And so we're protecting it at all costs. Like, but I'm helping put it now in the limelight. So when I do an event, like right now, our event just finished in Singapore 3 hours ago. It's like Rekt Radio, Decrypt present, or etc. So we're trying to like, do the thing. But then you see the Donald Trump stuff. That was Rekt Radio. There was not a Decrypt. There was no Decrypt in any of it, right? You didn't see any of it because that was a Rekt Radio production only.
And then where does Myriad Markets tie into all that? Like, I know the prediction markets have been popular in the news cycles and predicting elections and stuff. So I'd love to hear that tie in as well.
Well, for us, like, the biggest test is, are we going to survive after the elections? Because Polymarket first and foremost, because they're the leaders, right? So you want them to, right? And the answer is we'll see. But I think, focus on culture, a focus on markets. Like, I'm also not trying to be like I obviously want to be as big as Polymarket, but the market is so big, like you can focus on different ones. So like culture, gaming is going to be heavy for us. music. Like we had a market on the beta right now. It's all points, right? You can on beta.myriad.markets and sign up. But like, it was like, oh, who's gonna win the MTV Music Award? Or like, oh, who's gonna win? Like right now, it's just like this like gaming stuff. I don't really follow, but Sims does, so he does them. Like who's gonna win this Dota 2 championship or whatever the fuck. So I think focusing on that is gonna be interesting. Obviously, there's elections around the world at all times, right? Whether it's in France, whether it's in Asia, whatever. And then lastly, Asia. I want to put a big focus on that. Like I may launch this thing in literally, like I'm really working right now and seeing if I can launch this thing in Mandarin, and like, you know, instead of like English and Mandarin, and just like and to be able to like focus on it. So we'll see, but that's definitely my approach.
Is there any regulatory hurdles dealing with prediction markets that you have to be wary of, or like anything like that you've had to?
Well, there was a Kalshi case, right, last week that like Kalshi seemed to have won, etc. So the CFTC has only really issued a bunch of no action letters so far to Polymarket and Co. Polymarket, I think, had to settle for a fine of like 1 million something a couple of years ago, right? 4 years ago. So far, so good. It wasn't with the FCC, it's just the CFTC. And you know, so far you're good. I mean, the precedents are being set, but again, like let's go back to to bring it back to the Trump stuff and everything, but obviously depends on the administration. And, you know, if Gary Gensler and the SEC are going to go to war with crypto, then, you know, like any company, you know, it's tough.
How exactly you guys going to do it differently as well? I know that you've got like a plugin, right, that you guys are going to do, and then it's going to be so you can kind of maybe just go through how that exactly is going to work, because it's slightly different, right? You own some media, so it's obviously going to be at the end of your own articles, but like how exactly does it work?
So the cool thing about Myriad Market is the Chrome plugin, which is already out. Like you can go to the web store, I think, and download the Chrome plugin and use it right now, if you're in the beta. And so basically we're injecting the prediction markets like on platforms natively and directly, right? So like if you're on I can actually show you. I can just show you this. Hold on. I can literally just show you this. I mean, check this out. Yeah, so this is like old mock-ups, right? Are you seeing them? There you go. So this is like older mock-ups. So that's the platform itself, which looks even nicer now. But like, see here, let me show you this. So if you have the app, so that's on Decrypt, right? You can literally on the left here, put your prediction powered by Myriad, which is now like pops out even more. That was like V0, like, you know, and it's under there. So directly you can click without having to be directed to the Myriad Markets app itself. And then like, for example, here, we're able to inject it on X directly. So like you're reading an article on Decrypt. We have an AI tool that picks up on what you're reading and what the post is about, and then serves you the market that is relevant to what you're reading, right? And on top of that, a market with actual volume. So it's not going to serve you something with nothing, right? And so here, for example, that's the YouTube thing I talked to you about. It's right there. So right now, there's people using Myriad on Rekt Radio, on YouTube, with this at the bottom, and they're able to put their predictions. So I could go on and there could be a market open about me, let's say, or what I'll say, or even words, right? Stuff that's fun, or like the...
Here's what we're talking about.
Well, it picks up on the relevance of like, you know, what we're like, you know, those keywords and topics that you're putting in and everything. And by the way, Elon and Locks are way better versed than me for talking about this. I don't do tech. I am just the guy that goes out there to Mar-a-Lago and does my thing. You know what I mean? And this is on Wall Street Journal. Like we can inject anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So like basically looks at what you're seeing and then gives you a market to kind of do something on the back of.
Yeah, the tech is great. I mean, the UI and the UX so far, I've only heard extremely good reviews from it. I'm really happy about it because everything's internal. We've built it all. And we have like a pretty fat team now working on this entire prediction market. So it's cool. And the goal is to grow it on protocol level over time and to then have it adopted across other media platforms. So I could enter in a deal with, I don't know, we're not having the convo, but I'm going to name some, like let's say Complex, right? KBM, like that's how I want to grow outside of Web3. It's like Complex agrees to want to have our prediction markets. Like how much is the new Jordan Travis Scott going to open at? Right? Or how much is this shoe going to sell for? How many albums is Kanye going to sell on Vultures 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they don't want to build the whole tokenized prediction market with an oracle, but we do. So I could use it as a service and then build it for other people on a protocol level. So that's something that we'd be working on like Q1, Q2, 2025.
I wanted to change pace a little bit and just talk, because I know you're, as we are now, like we're 2 cycles in. You at one stage were like main character, then kind of elder statesman. You got well, not much time off, but like in the bear market, NFTs didn't really do that well. You also faced a lot of FUD.
Yeah, of course.
several times in your career. As I think I've faced a little bit. I think around the start of Epic, I faced a little bit. I'm trying to think when else I have.
You felt that
Like
heat.
at times, like when Degens didn't work out at the start, I got FUD. KBM, I'm sure you've had FUD at different times in like
People don't like my trades.
your CT career. And there's, like you said, like a lot of the new accounts this cycle are like the Zoomers. This is their first cycle, or this is their first, like, at least being big. What advice would you give for people like being multi-cycle content creators, like knowing that you are undoubtedly going to go through FUD? Like, you kind of knew what Anson was, like, everyone saw what that was going to happen, just like everyone knew what was going to happen. Gainsy last cycle, or like it just goes through that. Maybe just talk a little bit about that. Like, how has that experience been, just knowing that? Because people might know you and might just think, oh yeah, I remember some FUD around him like 3 years ago. Like, oh yeah, or it's just
like he sold a cool cat. Like, there's some shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what was your advice around that sort of stuff?
just roll with the punches. Actually, it's funny. Last cycle and this cycle, also, like, a lot of creators will call me when they're going through that, like or DM me. Like, even people I'm not too close to, they'll just ask me for advice on how to deal with it, and I've helped a ton of them. Some of the biggest ones too, right? But it's like I tell them the same thing: just roll with it and just be yourself and be honest, right? Like, if you genuinely think you didn't do anything wrong, just like keep going, like, or you don't have to always explain yourself, but sometimes it's good to go out there and do it. But most of the time you have to ignore it. Because, like, for every hater you have, there's 1,000 people that actually support you. And I'm serious. The ratio is 1,000 to 1 because I go through it, right? Even recently, the last few days, obviously I've received a lot of opinions about me on social media. But for every opinion that was negative, there was 1,000 people that supported me and that were super fucking down with it. So it doesn't matter. So you just have to tune it out. It sounds easy, but if you want to be a creator, like, and you're going to complain and let like a few haters, like, take you down, then maybe we consider wanting to be a creator, because you create content to be in the limelight. You create content to get views, not kid yourself. Okay. Like, you create content so you can create views and make money one day with it. Okay. You don't create content because, oh, I'm in love with it, because you have to go get a job if not. Right. So it's like, you do it for the love of it, but you also do it because it can bring like a lot of attention. So if you can't roll with the attention, then it's like, boo-hoo,
Do you block or mute the haters? I just mute them. And then
no, you gotta block though. Like, to me, like, there's sometimes I mute, but like sometimes I block. You know why? Because it's an honor to be able to consume my content. And if you're gonna fuck with me, then you don't deserve it. So you know what? Like, go. You know what I love doing? Because I know these people will have to then go on an alt to consume, right? And just the fact that, maybe I'm petty like that, but that's because I'm French. Like, they have to swap their accounts to go watch my Trump interview this week. It feels so good because they're going to watch it anyways.
I feel like you guys probably talked a ton about the Trump interview, but I don't know. I haven't.
No, we can talk about it.
So I'd love to hear, like, firstly, just stepping away from like an assassination attempt again last weekend, and then the fact that you were still able to get in there to the same place that it had occurred. I mean, like, I thought it was going to be canceled personally once that happened. I don't know. How'd you feel about that? Like, what was the protocol to get in there? Was security beefed up? What was the process to make it go down after such a crazy weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, there was no background checks prior to that. The week before, everything with the Secret Service, pull up. We were under the tent going through a Secret Service sweep when the whole assassination attempt happened. And they asked us to pull out to the side and park on the side of the road. Not on the road, but the parking lot. And they were super chill about everything. And then, Mar-a-Lago was closed that day. So I couldn't go set up on Sunday. So we showed up very early on Monday. So we were there for like 13 hours that day, including the interview. And, the whole security part, I mean, it's high security in there. You have HSI, Secret Service, Homeland, you have like FBI, I'm sure, like, you have like bomb squads and sheriffs and dogs and the whole shebang. So it's very like, the first day I would say was very tense. Like, it's like an atmosphere that's like, whoa, like, like, chill out. Like, this is a big time home. This is a big time estate. You're walking into this, just walking in the park. So there was that. But besides that, like, it was a sick experience. Like, people were super chill. The whole process, like law enforcement, etc., they're very kind. You'd think that it's like, oh, like super scary atmosphere, like dogs are barking at you and people are staring you down, like, who's this kid? But it's not true. Like, it was honestly like they rolled out a red carpet for us, and they were very respectful to me, very respectful to my team, very kind. They accommodated everything I needed. Last minute, this, that issue. Oh, we don't like this table. We need that table and these chairs. Like, yeah, Donald Trump's executive assistant helping us. You have the head of comms, Mar-a-Lago, helping us. You had people and staff helping us. Like, and on top of people that were there, you know, like Eric Trump pulled up a few hours before to talk to me and to make me feel good about it all. Like, you know, like, and we talked crypto and everything. So I got to see how deep he was into the space before even going live. And then Donald Trump himself requested to meet me. Like, as soon as I press open spaces, this guy comes into the room. He's like, Farokh. I'm like, yes. And he's like, I need you to come. I'm like, I can't. Like, the Twitter space has just started. Like, I got to get Donald Trump's account on the stage as a co-host before it breaks. And then he's like, no, the president wants to talk. And I'm like, fuck, like that means drop everything you're doing, go. Like, it's not like, oh wait, it's like you drop it, you go. So I go, Sander, take my phone, get everybody on stage. And we have it on tape. It's so good. And then, you know, I go and he's there. He's like, oh, the young man or whatever, because we were chatting about how I turned 30 last week. And then, you know, she looks at me, shakes my hand, and goes, we're gonna have fun. And I was like, let's go. Like, he was super chill. Then we walked in together. As he's calling Elon Musk, you know, soft flex, which is fire. And then, yeah, he was super cool, and he made me feel really like comfortable. I was saying Mando earlier on the show, but like, you know, he made me feel like really comfortable. At first, you know, you could see like in the video, you'll see soon, like my hands are on my legs. I'm just like kind of like going like this, or like my left foot was like kind of like going like this. And, like, he could tell I was extremely nervous, and I was really nervous at first. After 5 minutes, I was good, but he soothed me. Like, he looked at me in a way that was like, don't worry, it'll be okay. Like, so yeah, it was a crazy experience.
That's epic, man. That must have been fun. I mean, what an experience for sure. Came a long way from putting $5,000 in a crypto and then all of a sudden interviewing Donald Trump in a crypto centric interview. So that's epic.
Yeah. It was sick.
What at the last 24 hours? Like, you've probably had it dawn on you a little bit, I guess, over the last 24 hours. You sent me just yesterday as a text at like 2 a.m. my time. No context, just like I could tell it was like
with all the H's.
This has gone well. Was there anything that the cameras didn't get as well? Like, that was just you're kind of going back to over the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just the whole thing, dude. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, it's starting to hit. Like, you wake up in your bed this morning, and I wake up in my bed, and I'm like, oh wow, I woke up in my bed. I'm like, this is the first time I woke up in my bed since that thing, right? And I'm like, so now what? Like, I was like, what's my life going to be like? Or like, what do I do next? And obviously, the next part is me posting the interview in full in video and the world seeing it. And I think Donald Trump may post it too, which would be fucking sick. So like, the show still goes on. Like, nothing's done yet. It was only on Spaces so far, and most of the world doesn't use Spaces. But yeah, it really hit. It really hit hard as soon as I got home. I'm like 10 hours deep so far in catching up with my phones, text, WhatsApp, Instagram, everything. Both my wrists hurt from it, and I still haven't caught up with everything and everyone yet. In like 20 minutes, I'm getting one with BBC, and then in an hour, there's the local press coming over.
What food was served? I need to know. Was there a solid spread? I mean, so he's been known to serve a nice McDonald's spread, and I was kind of hoping you char grilled everything, right? Char grilled everything with Diet Coke.
So Mar-a-Lago's closed because it's not the season, right? KBM in West Palm Beach, so until November. So the chef only cooks for the president. That's what I was told, you know, so which is right. And so we had to have someone. So picture this: it's 12. I get there. I didn't eat. Zero. Nada. I'm starving, like 14 hours into not eating. I don't think I had dinner the night before. And then I realize I have to eat, and I'm starting to lose my focus. I'm starting to faint, and I have to prep for this. And it's high stress, right? I had 30, 40 questions to go through, right? And so we had to send someone to go get some Mexican food for pickup. The thing is, every time you leave Mar-a-Lago, you have to re-go through the fucking suite. So you have to go back to the parking lot, get the Secret Service, check your car, everything. I was starving, so we had to order our own Mexican food, which was bomb. And then my boy Zach Folkman, the man who made everything happen for me. Shout out to Zach if he's in here. I don't know. I know he listens. So, you know, he's the one who got me the interview. He's the one who helped me the 3 weeks before, talked every day, 5, 6. Actually, as we're talking, him and I are going over the video and stuff that we need to post. But like, it's like he made everything happen. He brought me a little Cliff Bar. So I like got the sugar spike to go back on. And then I nibbled on chips until the interview. And I had 2 Rekt drinks on me, so I actually drank that so that I could spike my sugars. And then
you had Rekt drinks on you.
Yeah, so 2 people sent me Rekt drinks last minute to my hotel. Shout out to Ovi for making that happen. My goal was to have it on set, so I tried to have the Rekt drinks with me on set. with Donald Trump. I think if I would have pushed a little, I could have maybe done it. But at the moment, it was too stressful. And there was a bunch of Trump waters everywhere, so I didn't want to be that guy. So, we have a few videos of me after.
You didn't wear the duck costume that I sent you either.
Yeah, no, I didn't wear that.
Not even a duck tie.
Kind of, you didn't say anything about it, but yeah.
Was there prediction markets on like what you would say for that? Was
not
there
me, but
live?
him. There was over $2 million on prediction markets on what Donald Trump would say on the X Spaces with me. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have got ahead of that, and I don't know.
No, brother.
We don't need to talk about that.
No,
I'm trolling.
I actually sent a message to my team. Like that's actually interesting. Like, how do we deal with that? Because I'm the one interviewing, right? And it's like I sent a message to my team earlier this week, pretty much like, you bet on anything on any market, you're fired.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't say in those words, but the lines. Yeah,
that is a tough line to walk if you're like the owner of the prediction market doing an interview.
I mean, you notice Tyler, even who works with us, and he usually covers prediction markets as media, didn't cover this at all because we wanted to keep it extremely professional.
I feel like you couldn't, right? Yeah, it's a bit of a conflict of interest.
It's a thin line to walk on because I know he's going to talk about Barron because I know I was on the phone with Barron Trump before the Spaces to try to help him come up. Right. So I know the kid's going to try and come up and like his name's going to come up on the thing. So it's like you have to be extremely careful with that. And also, like, why would I ruin my entire career in life at the biggest moment of my entire life over what? Like,
no,
I know you won't do this, but somebody will in the future. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to hear about
see, that's where prediction markets are probably going to have to run a thin line, right? Like, how do you stop the person that's in the room, the assistant, who had the questions before, right?
The person guiding the questions, like
you never know. You never know.
There's enough liquidity that, like, if the prediction markets come up enough, like, they're definitely what would people doing. Like, $2 million, maybe not, but what if that's 200 million on something? Like, it's a bit different. So, yeah, there's some gray areas there. But anyway, I think we're bumping up against the time. I don't know what you guys want to do. We maybe get into the final questions here with you, Farokh.
Let's go.
We want to know. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, KBM, you can do it. You can do it.
What do you got for the audience? How not to get wrecked, Farokh?
How not to get wrecked. Stop chasing the top after you've already closed your stuff or after you've sold. Like, you don't need to trade the same second after you sold. After you sold, put your hands off and go on a walk, go to the gym or something. Don't trade it. Even if you could have made more money, you've made money. So walk away.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. That's the one thing that you always do is do that. And then you also benchmark yourself to the highest possible portfolio you've ever had. So when you then next make the money, you're always like, oh, I need to get up to that like crazy level, right? That's what also FOMOs you into it because you're like, I've done a 10x, I need to do another 10x on the 10x.
Yeah,
slippery slope.
Honestly, though, if you ever want to get into a trade early, Farokh is probably one of the best KOL callers. Like if he had his own KOL Telegram group, I swear to God, he would have called every single thing.
Recently was like the last few. It was like fog and brainlet and shit. Like I was so early to all this shit, and then obviously I fumbled a lot. I'm still in the few, but we get him. It's because you know what it is. It's just because I'm terminally online. It's just you'd see it. Like I'm everywhere all the time, just doing my work. So it's like. I'm already here. I may as well be in the trenches.
We'll be in the trenches for a while, it feels.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we're stuck there. Like, we need wave 2. When's wave 2 happening, dude? Like, I can't wait for the second. We need, what we need? Like, I think, like, if Trump wins, like, we're going to get that wave 2 right away. And I think if he doesn't, it's still going to happen, but probably, like, December, January instead. But, like, I genuinely think, like, given, like, Trump wins and after this crypto, dude, what happens with this crypto interview if he wins, dude? Holy shit. Or when he wins. But, it's like, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm bullish if it goes through. I think we can go to 90 to 100K if Trump gets.
Let's go.
Even by the end of this year, I think we can do that. I think that's possible. So, but I don't know. I feel like the way that Bitcoin's trading versus everything else makes me think that Bitcoin dominance might just go to like 65%. And it would be horrific for everyone. Vitalik singing.
I feel like the same. So, hey, well, we have a catalyst later. It's probably not going to do much, but Fed meeting. Good luck to any traders.
Let's go.
Thanks for coming on, Farokh. Epic having you on. Have a good
one. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
See everyone next week.
Rekt Radio. I made it.
Yeah, we'll see you next cycle.
See you next cycle.